Hey there fans in Comic Land, it's Leila here from the Comic Connection with this week's comic book reviews. First up we've got Stuff of Legend number 2, written by Mike Reicht and Brian Smith, with art by Charles Paul Wilson III. In this one, the Jester runs afoul of the inhabitants of the town of Hopscotch, and the Boogie's Man's forces scour the Black Forest for signs of the boy's loyalist forces before they can find him and the boy. And Percy gets to play a game for the lives or the fates of all of his allies. To be continued in Volume 2, apparently, in spring 2010. Originally this was sort of a number 1 and 2 of 2, but apparently this is only a Volume 1, so this is only part of the story. So we have to wait all the way till the spring to see the rest of it, which is quite a shame, because I really like this series. The art is really good, and the story is engaging and different. If you haven't picked up Stuff of Legend, it is definitely worth getting. Next up, we've got Azrael number 1, written by Fabian Nicieza, and art by Ramon Box. In this one, Azrael, aka Michael Lane, tracks down an assassin on a mission of vengeance, but finds it kind of difficult to decide what is right in the whole situation when he finally catches up with him. Plus, we get a glimpse of Michael's future, and it isn't pretty. I liked it. It was pretty good. It was effective art and coloring especially, and it had an engaging story. Azrael is a very interesting character, as sort of a similar to Batman type of character, and Batman even makes an appearance in this book, which is kind of cool. So if you haven't read an Azrael book before, this is a good place to jump on because it's different than the older stuff. It was a very good read. Next up, we've got The Talisman, The Road of Trials number 0, written by Stephen King and Peter Straub. The script for this is by Robin Firth, and the art is by Tony Chastain. So in this one, the line between our world and the world of daydreams is sort of blurred in a story of treachery and betrayal, and at the center of it is a character called Traveling Jack, who starts out as a child and then through the course of the series is going to grow up. This was a good start to the series. It's well drawn and plotted. The first issue really takes you into the whole strange reality of the situation. It's a little jarring at first, especially if you're not familiar with the book, which has received sort of mixed reviews, but if you're a Stephen King fan, this is definitely a good one for you to pick up, and it's out by Del Rey, who's doing comic books now, and not just manga, so if you want to support that, then grab this. It's only $1 to start out the series, so it's pretty good. And last, but maybe not least, is Angel vs. Frankenstein by John Byrne. In this one, Angelus is recruited by the Frankenstein monster, to help him claim what he believes is his, which is the Frankenstein family fortune, of which he is the last living heir. But Angelus wants the fortune for himself, and a throwdown ensues with the villagers sort of caught in the middle. It was okay. It was an interesting one-shot. You know, the art by John Byrne is always well done, although some people might not like this because it's sort of that black and white thing again. But it was really good. The expansion of the Frankenstein lore and the interaction with Angelus was really cool, and it was interesting to see the dark side of Angel again. So if you are an Angel fan, or even just a Frankenstein fan, this is actually a pretty good read.
Hey folks, Jim here with this week's comic reviews. First up, Sugar Shot One Shot, written by Joss Whedon with art by Fabio Moon. And in this one, Dandelion Nizan is a hyperactive singer-songwriter with quite a hatred for Vikings, and she has a mission for a secret government agency that may be a figment of her imagination. And when her band hits the big time, when enlisted in an intergalactic battle of bands, it's a fight for survival. Now basically, it's a new Joss Whedon book. It's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. Lots of Whedonisms. Art's kind of muddy at times, which I don't like, but Fabio Moon's style is really nice. So I can't highly recommend it, but anyone who's a Whedon fan, you're probably going to enjoy it. Next up, Archie number 602, written by Michael Uzlan with art by Stan Goldberg. And in this one, after Veronica dies in childbirth, Archie is left alone to raise 2 Hellraisers. So he turns to his only other love, vodka, and lots of it. Oh, I'm sorry, there I go again. Actually what happens in this one is Archie and Veronica have twins, and everything changes once again. But is it all for the better? Probably not, because in the next one, he marries Betty. So, if you're an Archie fan, check it out. If not, it's not going to be for you anyway. And last but certainly least is Transformers Tales of the Fallen number 3, written by Chris Mallory with art by Carlos Magno. And in this one, you learn the history of Jetfire, his connection to the Fallen, what he's running from, and if he can find redemption for his past mistakes. Really good art by Carlos Magno. Okay story by Chris Mallory. It's a little bit muddy at times, but other than that, it's not a bad book. If you're a Transformers fan, check it out, and be sure to be with us next week as we celebrate 100 episodes.
Action.
Alright, gotta make sure everything's good to go, that way I can bring home, edit it down, make it sound pretty, then do the Rubik's Cube.